Hello.
Hi. Just wondering if we should be waiting for anyone else to join.
Let's give them what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Hey folks.
Yeah, it's three of us. We were wondering with Jem if we were going to be two or maybe more.
There's only us on the agenda right now. I'm waiting for my pull request to pass CI. Apparently it's got stuck at easy CLA. I do promise I've signed the CLA, but the
Maybe
bot is still checking.
we can start with my last agenda item, which is we should remove the CLA for this repo.
That's a good one. Okay, let's kick off. So by being here, we have all agreed to the membership agreement, the participation and contribution guidelines, and the code of conduct. We also know that the meetings are recorded and published to YouTube. and that we use large language models and AI summary tools on them. We'll start with a quick introduction of the attendees, which we'll just do as Benji, Jem, Martin. So hi everyone, my name is Benji.
Yeah, I'm Jem.
I'm Martin.
Great, and we'll probably rely on the AI to do the notes for us for today. The agenda has two main items on it today, API Days Paris and removing the CLA. And there are, as far as I know, nothing to review on the agenda item, so we can skip over that. And I'd like to remind everyone that there are grants available for key initiatives within the GraphQL Foundation projects. So if that is useful to anyone, please do consider applying. So at Martin's recommendation, we're going to jump straight to the final item, which is removing the CLA from community contributions. Go for it, Martin.
Yeah, that's just the gist of it. I just want to make it as easy as possible for people to contribute the community stuff. I get the CLA for technical working groups, where there is a specification and and software. For community stuff, I don't get it too much, and I think we should aim to remove as many barriers as possible. So I would like to remove the CLA from community working group, from this repo.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. This is something that I believe has been discussed before, not specifically for this repository, but for some of the other ones. At one point, every time we added a new repository, it didn't have the CLA enabled, and it became a problem because we needed it for many of them, like the Composite Schemas Working Group, for example, needs to be under that. So we enabled it across all the repositories, including newly created ones. But having a list of exceptions, I think, makes sense. That said, I don't think that's something that can be agreed at this in this working group. Essentially, the CLA is a requirement because we are part of the GraphQL Foundation, which has to manage all of the intellectual property rights of all this stuff. So if there's any contributions that relate to any of our deliverables, I think that's the term we use, so like the specifications, the reference implementations and things like that, then those must be governed by a CLA. Otherwise, we're not protected from, you know, all the various intellectual property rights and patents and this, that, and the other. So long as the community working group does not do any of those things and redirects those things to the relevant working groups, then I don't personally see an issue with removing the CLA. But I do think that it does add more process there and a lot more guidance on what people can bring to this meeting and what should and should not be discussed here, for those reasons. Also, I think this is more a topic for the Foundation Board itself, because they're the ones who effectively set this policy. And I strongly suspect that that will then result in a discussion with the Technical Steering Committee to essentially say, would you agree that the stuff discussed in this working group is outside of the bounds of these deliverables that we care about? So I suspect that it's a bit of a longer process rather than just unchecking a checkbox. But yeah, I encourage you to get that process started if you believe in it. Bring it up at the board meeting, or have a board representative, maybe Jeff, represent it.
Okay. Okay, I was going to ask the board representative that was currently present. But I can ask Jeff. When is the next board meeting?
Yeah, I can bring it to the board, but I do not have voting rights at the board. So it would be only a like a community recommendation from me, whereas from Jeff, it would be an action from a board member.
Okay.
So it'd be stronger
Gotcha.
from Jeff. I'm happy to represent it, but it'd be better if Jeff did.
Question, do we have the list of board representatives somewhere? Like if people want to reach out to the board?
That is a question I don't know the answer to. I mean, I have access to a list of board representatives, but I don't know whether that list is publicly shareable.
We have the list of
Oh, it was shared,
companies.
I believe, I believe it was shared as part of the GraphQL All Hands. So if you look that up on the videos from the conference, I think it's one of the early slides in the All Hands deck.
Okay.
So check that, and if it's there, then obviously it's public and the foundation has published it.
Sounds good. Yep. All right, I'll do that.
Just to add on to this topic, I've put in the chat there a link to my pull request to the website. It's not finished, but we heard a lot of feedback during the conference that people didn't quite know how to navigate the navigate first joining their first working group, or navigate making their first commit to one of the repos. So hopefully that page on the website, when it gets merged in, will be a good guide to getting through that, because even if we remove it from this working group, there are plenty of people who want to get stuck in on the more technical side that just don't know how. So feedback on what I've written there would be good. It's not quite finished because there's one more page I'm writing that's about the various projects that we have, as well as working groups, but it's nearly there, and I'm open to feedback on that.
I did take a quick look, and it looks good, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't change much. Like, it's always good to have this kind of content.
I agree. Yeah, I'm quite used to writing step-by-step tutorials as well. So hopefully I've managed to
Yeah,
capture the tricky steps. Yeah.
the screenshots are really useful.
Yeah. I've just put the link in the chat there to the all hands meeting as well. I don't think there's not any slides shared on that one. So that's a case of just watching the video at the moment.
Cool. Yeah, that is, as I've already told you, Jem, excellent work. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that merged. And I think we know where we're going with the CLA discussion. So let's move on to the other topic for today, which is API Days Paris. Over to you, Martin.
Yes. Quick update. I'm still waiting on two things. First of all, whether the foundation will or will not sponsor the event. And second of all, a process for us to get the CFP application from the larger application. Currently, all the CFP submissions go through the API Day system. And there is a process that gets us the applicants into a Google Sheet. Only the ones that, the goal is to have all the submissions to the GraphQL track. But that process is not working right now. So I'm meeting with them tomorrow to fix this, which means the deadline is going to slip, because the initial deadline was on this Sunday for the CFP. So depending the outcome of tomorrow, it will probably shift 1 or 2 weeks until 19th of October or 26th of October. Once we have everything, would be good to send all the details to the ambassadors. I don't know if that's something we can do. I'm planning to do a small GitHub issue, probably on community working group repo, with actually just like what you did, Jem, like how to submit to the CFP with screenshots. Like, the process is a bit involved, and applicants will have to make sure they check the small GraphQL box. So I want to streamline that process, and yeah, make an issue for everyone to have all the info. And once we have that, if we could send that to the current ambassadors and, well, everyone that can be interested, mainly, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think for the FOSDEM Dev Room last year, we wrote it as a blog post on the foundation website. So I think that would be the way to do it again, and essentially just saying that we're wanting talk proposals. Yeah, I've just found it. Yeah. So that might give you a framework to follow, possibly.
Yes.
And that blog post worked quite well as well to get some GraphQL talks submitted for that dev room. Yeah. We can certainly, when you say to share with the ambassadors, do you mean ask them to submit talks, or do you mean help you
Yes.
with? Yeah.
Mostly ask them to submit talk if they want to be more involved. Of course, it's a possibility. But I'm thinking, I think you have face-to-face meetings, right, with them once in a while. So if there is one before the end of October, like, face-to-face is always better. The blog post works, but it's a bit impersonal.
Yeah.
When you get the information from a community member, it's always better. So if we could tell them, or if you could tell them, like, hey, this is the info, redirect them to me or anyone else if they have questions, I think that would be super useful.
Okay. We've had our face-to-face meetings now for a while, but we do have a news group we can share it on. I know that there are a fair number of them like to do the talks and things, so we'll see what interest we get.
Yeah, so the meetings we have are quarterly, and we've had them quite recently, like only a couple of weeks ago. So
Okay.
that's it for a bit.
We
That
missed the
said,
train. Yes.
yes. That said, I've just realized that probably the TSC members are not on the ambassador mailing list, and we probably should be. So I'll add that to my list of things to see if we can make that happen, and then you'll be able to post things directly to the ambassadors as well, which I think would be good. And also a reminder that there's an ambassadors channel in the Discord, which I believe you have access to. Are you able to check?
Yes.
Ambassadors, yes, I'm there.
Perfect. Yeah, so you
Yes.
can also share things in there, but obviously not everyone's on Discord.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, this is absolutely the kind of thing that we want to share to ambassadors. Jem's right, though. We should also put it out on the blog. Yeah, awesome. Understood on the delays, makes sense. Good work. Thank you for keeping to push this forward.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think anything else to add on that. Fantastic work. On the CLA bot front, yes, it seems like there was a deploy yesterday. So it has been raised with the IT team, and hopefully they'll get the CLA bot fixed again shortly. So yeah, that will hopefully be addressed.
Ah, there's been an issue then.
Well, I mean, my pull request still hasn't been approved, so I'm back channeling a fix. Awesome. In which case, I think unless there's anything else anyone wants to talk about, go on.
While we are here, do we want to talk about the website update for TSC members being part of Meetup admin group and videos not being required? I have a pull request there.
That needs sign off from the foundation first, because it's a foundation thing. But yeah, essentially the changes are proposed. I'm also waiting on a budget sign off as well on that, and I'm hoping to push it all out at the same time, which is why it's effectively on hold at the moment.
So the website repo needs approval from the foundation. So like board members, who do we need to, like, I can ping like anyone in this pull request. I just want to make sure people see it. Should I ping some specific handles?
No, we just need sign off at the community, what's it called? Committee, the conference committee, which meets on Mondays.
Okay.
So I'll just be getting approval from there, because this is effectively a foundation program.
Yes. Could we say it's editorial? No, it's not 100% editorial. Like the main change is video is not required anymore. But okay, it's still a change. Okay, let's discuss that on Monday. I think there's one on Monday.
Yes, hopefully there's one on Monday, and my plan was to, like, I raised it with the board a couple of weeks ago, and I'm hoping that basically people have had time to digest it and think about it, and if there's no complaints, then my plan is, or was, to then raise a pull request with the edits. You've already done the raising of the pull request, so that saves me some effort. But yeah, hopefully we'll get that merged shortly thereafter.
Cool. Thanks.
Awesome. In which case, I guess we'll call that it for today, and we'll see you next time. And I'll see you on Monday.
Thank you. See you all.
Cheers both. Bye.